Hello everyone, I hope you're having an amazing weekend so far. Andrew here with a little bit of market outlook for next week. I wanted to present this outlook every 2 weeks on my YouTube channel just to give you guys some ideas of what I'm looking in the markets and what I'm expecting. This week I'm expecting some big moves again on dollar, so I'm gonna go over the pairs I trade and everything like that, and also some bit of crypto analysis. So let's start off with the dollar index. Of course, as I told you guys 2 weeks ago, I was expecting dollar to make some kind of pullback before giving confirmation to head lower. The news didn't really push it lower, so the Feds are still manipulating the dollar even if inflation is going on and everything, which is kind of stupid if you ask me, but we don't really care. We just trade the markets and then that's it. So if we look at the 4 hour, we can see how price came back to that week to mitigate it. First made this fake change of character, which for me means it just set up a trap for price to come higher into that area and then probably continuing down. So what I'm expecting for next week, if we take a look on the 1 hour, I'm just expecting some kind of pullback beginning of the week and then price to finally start heading lower, looking at that 4 hour time frame to these areas first and then probably much lower. If we look at the daily, you can see the same thing. Candle came up in that area and then it closed at the same exact level as the previous daily closes. So what that means is it just spiked up the zone 2 times, probably gonna make another quick week and then price will start heading down. So that's what I'm expecting looking just at the dollar index. So now let's take a look at EU, for example. Of course, we had this amazing buy opportunity which I went over in the FXA Academy. It was a really nice buy, 1 to 35, something like that. Played out really nice. I was expecting price to maybe continue higher looking at the 4 hour time frame, but that didn't really happen. Of course, price still needs to mitigate some of the supply areas before probably, I don't think it's gonna head lower, but it's just gonna have some kind of pullback. So let's take a look at the daily first. The price came to that monthly level, which was made in 2017. So over 5 years ago, price hasn't been trading this low since then. So that was a big reaction from that area. I can see it just came and then it immediately gave a nice bullish reaction for about 400 pips. So looking at the daily, you can see price making the low into that area and then immediately making a change of character to the upside right here, a daily change of character, which kind of means a lot. So now, of course, we were expecting price to calm down, retrace it, and then give some nice confirmation to go higher, and that is exactly what price did. It came back to some of these demand areas on the lower time frames. It mitigated them, gave a nice reaction. Let's delete this. So it gave a nice reaction. You can see here started building some liquidity to the upside and the downside, and then price last week came down to mitigate some of the areas and take liquidity out. So if we look at the daily, you can see how price closed above this level right here. So we had the lower high right here, the higher high, and then price came here, created a new lower high, gave a nice impulse, and then price came down to mitigate some of those areas, and it still closed above this level. So what that means for me is that price will probably continue higher. Let's look at the 4 hour and you can see exactly the same thing. So you have this level right here, which price just wick below it to mitigate those areas, and then it closed above. So when candles on the 4 hour and the daily time frame, especially those time frames when candles closures are really important. So when you see candles closing above a certain level, that probably means the price wanted to mitigate and then it's gonna continue higher. So looking at the 4 hour, you can see we had two really good demand zones that needed to be mitigated. The first one where price came in and then it made that change of character on the 4 hour after this big bullish candle, but then price decided to come lower with the news on Friday and then mitigate that lower area as well, and then giving a huge wicks. And you can see how price just closed above this level on the 4 hour and then wicked down a little bit and then just closed bullish. So it closed just above this level and then respected this lower level. So what that means, looking at the 4 hour time frame, just price is gonna do a little retracement and then start pushing higher above these areas for sure. So my target for the next week is gonna be this area right here to be mitigated about 1.053. I'm 100% sure this area is gonna be hit on probably Wednesday or Thursday. So stay on the lookout for that. Now let's work out the time frames a little bit down. You can see the 1 hour, same exact theme, price wick down in that demand area, perfectly closed it and then gave a nice reaction and then a bearish retracement. Looking at the 50 minute, we do have you can see we had the change of character right here on the 50 minute, making a V-shaped recovery. So we have the change of character up, the V-shaped recovery, we mitigated this demand, barely touched it, and then price made a new break of structure right here. So what I'm expecting price to do on Monday session open is probably heading down a little bit to these areas to mitigate and then continuing higher for the rest of the week. This doji is probably gonna act as liquidity just for price to come down to that area, and this is a 40-50 pip range to the low, which I don't think is gonna be taken out. So if price decides to pull back to these areas and then give some nice confirmation, that will be an amazing buy just to hold it for the entire week based on the 4 hour time frame. So that's what I'm expecting on you, just some bearish movement beginning of London session probably, or just Asia session, and then take those buys during London Open and then New York Open, stack some positions to potentially drive price higher. First area of interest is this one, and then the next area of interest is just above this liquidity, where price will probably have a nice reaction, make some kind of higher low and then continuing higher. So my bias is just to take those buys this week, probably gonna stack a lot of positions and then let them run. Of course, if the low gets taken out, then probably the economy is basically dead. So I don't think they're gonna let that happen, because we are pretty low. We are 1.04, so that's a really low value for euro. To lose that much in the last months, it's not sustainable and will cause an economic breakdown pretty soon if this continues to go. So I don't think that's gonna happen. Dollar needs to come down because it doesn't make any sense. So that's why I'm willing to bet a lot of money on EU going higher, especially this pair. It's at current like lower prices, almost all-time low, so it's probably gonna go higher. Now let's take a look at GU, which is pretty similar to EU. First, let's look at daily, and you can see price came to mitigate these weeks, which were like sell to buy weeks. Price came into the zone on the daily, gave a nice reaction. Same thing as EU. It didn't have the change of character on daily, but looking in the 4 hour, you can see the change of character on the 4 hour here, mitigation going higher, then making this range. So I was expecting price to go bearish. This was presented last weekend in the mentorship groups, that this bearish move I was expecting, which played out perfectly to these lower areas. Looking at where price reacted from, you can see we reacted from this week, which was basically the low. Price came in, and you can see the Fibonacci right here. That's a 1 minute POI that I had marked since last week. I have 2 more marked. The reason I marked those POIs is because they were like really valid POIs that had all my confluences. So if price were to go down there, it was gonna have a reaction. First of all, I tried to take some buys from this area right here after seeing the like the 1 hour change of character. Price came in. I think I got some buys around this area, yeah, near the low. So if we go down to the 50 minute, you can see the buys here. It was just from this low right here, gave some nice confirmation on that week, executed the position. Price went up like 20 something pips, and then news came in, made this week upside, and then price started going down. So I wasn't really looking for any buys until we reached that area, and then my alert went off in this area. I also had a buy limit set up around this level, just because it was, like I said, a really nice POI from where price could react from, and my buy limit was activated. I'm gonna put the MetaTrader position right here, so you can see the entry. So it's currently running at around 100 pips, which is really really nice. Just from that buy position, price gave a really nice reaction, 100 pips in 3 or 4 hours. So that makes a good confluence for my plan of continuing higher on GU also. So what I'm expecting now is to see again some kind of pullback during London session or Monday session. See some kind of pullback potentially to this area, and then start taking price higher. That area, just because this is our POI, but this is another block that usually sets up a trap, and then price is gonna come lower, feel some of this imbalance right here, and then make the confirmation to go higher. Looking at the 4 hour, same exact plan. You can see the candle closures. So if we remove, this is a trick that I usually do. If we remove the wicks, you can see how price never made a new low. So this area right here, it was respected. Price didn't make a new low, it just reacted from this 4 hour candle. You can see how perfect that is. if you remove the wicks. So that's what I'm probably expecting for this week. So this is what price probably will do next week. Daily, of course, looks like a huge wick down, potentially to continue that higher move. 1 hour, I want to see some kind of retracement, maybe during Asia session or London session, and then start taking some positions to take price higher. Probably it won't come that far, just because Asia session needs to come in. They're probably gonna have a big push, and then price is gonna react a little bit and then continue higher during London session. And we're probably gonna have some bullish moves for the entire month of July. We also have NFP on Friday, which could really drive price up a lot. As for targets for my buy down there and then the next buys that I'm gonna stack, my targets, I'm not gonna take profit until these areas right here. Why? Because I had this huge range right here from where price came down. So now if price decides to rebound, probably gonna take that liquidity up really easy to fill those imbalances on the 4 hour, take out this old high and then create a new high before retracing. So that's gonna be my target. It's gonna be a swing position. That's about 400 pips, 500 pips for my entry. So if I get that trade down, I'm probably gonna be done for the month, just because it's gonna be a huge risk reward. My stop loss was about 5-7 pips. So just think about that. It's gonna be an easy target to achieve once we see the ball moving higher. Looking at gold, if you remember from last week, I said that price was gonna head lower to those areas, 1785. I've been calling that level for the last 2 weeks. Just because we've been building a lot of liquidity, price needed to retrace, failed to make a new high, and then of course the only alternative was price to go lower. I had an entry right here that I posted, but I took profits after we took out this trend line liquidity right here, and then price just gave a nice reaction and then continued lower. I didn't manage to get any more positions in, but that was a really nice target. Looking at the 4 hour and the daily first, you can see on the daily, we touched that level once again, and then the candle kind of gave a nice reaction. And as you can see, it didn't close above this level, but barely closed above it. So that's a good indication, especially if you see a daily candle with this kind of. So what I'm expecting for gold as well is price to give a little bit of bearish reaction and then start exploding to the upside, taking this trend line liquidity to the upside. So that's probably gonna happen this week as well. With NFP, you're probably gonna see a big move on gold. So I'm really gonna look out for that. As for entries, I'm not really sure what I can take some entries for. I'm kind of looking at this imbalance right here, which has a lot more confluences, of course, from my sessions and everything. This PY, same as GU, not really think it's gonna hold. So what I'm expecting price to come lower, fill the imbalance, and then continue higher. That's in a New York session as well. So I'm really gonna look out for that. And then for targets, my targets for gold are gonna be first target, the 1880 level, and then potentially much higher to the 1970 levels, and potentially a new high, depending on how the economy is gonna work out in these upcoming months with the war and everything, and the inflation and everything. But for me, it just looks like 4 hour made a dip down to take liquidity, made a nice V-shaped recovery, gonna have a little bit of retest, and then price we're gonna explode to the upside. So I'm 100% sure that's gonna happen. So stay tuned for that and just watch out for rejections and everything. So that's it for my pairs that I trade. Let's take a quick look at crypto as well. As you guys know, if you've been following me on Instagram, I kind of call these shorts right here on Bitcoin from the 47k level, 42k, sorry. See those two lines? I actually posted a story on that after calling the longs to here, and then the nice rejection from that area, and then price kind of dumped. So now what I'm expecting for Bitcoin is, you can see I marked this for my students. I shared it when price was around here, made the low, and then came to mitigate that area, and now it's gonna continue to a new lower low. So yeah, Bitcoin is gonna head much lower. I'm still waiting for the under 15k levels. Not a lot of intraday opportunities until there, so I'm gonna just wait for price to come lower to potentially take some spot positions to the upside. Looking at Ethereum, same thing. I was expecting the price to come back to this level, so it's a potential move, come back, retest these levels, and then continue lower. For Ethereum, I'm expecting price to go much lower, potentially to first target is going to be the 700 level, and then I will probably see under 500 for sure. Between 500 and 250, we're gonna see price go that down for sure, and that's gonna be a really good buy for Ethereum. But Ethereum was way overpriced from 4k, so that's why almost 5k, so that's why price just dumped like that, and it's gonna continue to go down. But then we're gonna have the next 1 year, 1.5 years, we're gonna have a lot of bearish moves where we can potentially scale in positions to take price to a new higher high in the upcoming years. So guys, this year is gonna be the best year of our lives if we pay attention to it, because we're gonna see some huge economical moves, especially on the crypto market and also the Forex market. You can see how the economy is falling down, the inflation is going higher than ever, the rates are going higher. So basically they want to do a grand reset of the whole economy and the crypto market and everything like that. So this is the moment where impatient people gonna lose a lot of money, and us patient people, we're gonna become the next millionaires, because we had the patience to wait for those moments and then capitalize off them. So I really recommend you guys to follow me in every channel I'm active in, because I'm gonna post a lot of information, especially about the crypto market, because I'm expecting some huge moves in the upcoming year. Probably next year is gonna happen, but we're gonna have time to get some dollar cost average in our Bitcoin and Ethereum portfolio. So thanks for watching this outlook, guys. I hope it was really clear. The moves I'm waiting, they're probably gonna happen during Tuesday, Wednesday, and then finish off with Friday NFP. So just be patient, respect your trading plan to get into those positions, and then hold out to higher time frame targets, because there's gonna be some nice moves happening. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to join our free Discord, because we're posting there almost every day. We're also answering any question, chatting with you guys, because we love to do that, and overall just giving some nice value. So I'll see you guys in the free Discord, link is in description, and have an amazing trading week.